Good afternoon, everyone. Andrew here with the Alabama Weather Prediction Team. Just want to give you guys a heads up. It looks like a severe thunderstorm watch was just put into place, and for some reason, this just tweeted out in Spanish. I don't know why, but for some reason it tweeted that we just went live in Spanish. That's okay. We'll fix it. But anyway, what you're looking at right now is, if everything's running correctly, this is the current radar for East Mississippi. It's a little cluttered up right now. Let me try to clean it up just a little bit. There we go. All right, so right now our current severe thunderstorm warnings are for Lowndes and Noxubee County in eastern Mississippi, but as I started this stream, it does look like a severe thunderstorm watch was put in place for west and central Alabama. That does include portions of northern Alabama, actually. So let me try to, okay. This is the image for it. I'll share this screen with you. All right, so this is the new severe thunderstorm watch that was just put in place. That's the tornado watch in the red. This is the severe thunderstorm watch in the yellow. Let's see, I'll try to get the details on this. That goes until 3:03Z. That's until 9 p.m., I believe, maybe 10 p.m. Let me pull this up. So it's not quite up yet. My weather radio should go off. Let me get my mobile one ready. All right, let me switch my stream. Okay. I know you guys want to see the radar. That watch should come out here in a minute. I'm surprised it hasn't posted yet. Let me check my weather radio.
Mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-50s. Friday night, mostly clear in the east. 70 at chance of rain. Mostly cloudy with a chance of rain. 50s. Chance of rain 50%. Saturday night and Sunday, cloudy with a chance of rain. Lower 40s. High 51 to 56. Chance of rain 50%. Sunday night, mostly cloudy in the east. Becoming partly cloudy. A chance of rain. Lows in the upper 30s.
Okay, this may have not included any of the Huntsville County warning areas. Either way, let me get the news out. Here we go.
Thunderstorm watch number 503, effective until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
9 p.m.
This watch includes the following counties in Alabama: Lawrence, Limestone, Madison, Marshall, and Morgan. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, Severe thunderstorm watch number 503 has been issued from 4:40 p.m. Central Standard Time until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the following counties in Alabama: Lawrence, Limestone, Madison, Marshall, and Morgan.
The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm watch.
All right, I'm gonna get this information on Zello here real quick. Let me see if I can get. Let me see if I can get those watches to pop up. Watches, warnings, and advisories. Okay, I guess they haven't quite popped up yet. There they are. Okay, so there's your watch. There's just too much junk running on this radar. I'm going to turn most of it off right now. All right, I'm going to send a message on our Zello channel right now and try to get all the counties included in that. Good evening, everyone. This is Andrew here with the Alabama Weather Prediction Team. Just want to give you guys a heads up that a severe thunderstorm watch is now in effect for northern, central, and western portions of Alabama. That includes the following counties in northern Alabama. That's Lauderdale, Limestone, Madison, Colbert, Franklin, Limestone, Morgan, Marshall, and the following counties in north central Alabama: Marion, Fayette, Coleman, Blunt, Lamar, Walker, Jefferson, Tuscaloosa, Hale, Marengo, Greene, and Sumter counties are also in that severe thunderstorm watch. That goes into effect until 9 p.m. tonight. So the main threats will be damaging winds and large hail. We're now live at awpwx.org/severe. Or if you just go to our website, awpwx.org, click that severe mode tab, and there's a live stream on there right now. You'll have all the information you need for any watches and warnings in place right now, as well as how to interact with us either on here or on Discord. We'll stay in touch through the evening. Stay safe out there. Andrew Clear at 4:44 p.m. I'm going to keep relaying warnings. It looks like Itawamba just got a severe thunderstorm warning. I don't know how they look at that because this radar image is just absolute garbage. The reflectivity is way too high. Look at the difference here. This has been discussed over the afternoon hours. Look at the difference in radar here. Look at how pronounced it is here, and then you switch radar sources, and it's just not nearly as bad. So the velocity values look okay. All right, let me relay this warning for Itawamba and Monroe. Stand by for severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service in Memphis. The National Weather Service in Memphis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for north central Monroe County in northeastern Mississippi and southern Itawamba County in northeastern Mississippi until 5:30 p.m. At 4:43 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Evergreen or 8 miles south of Fulton, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Expected hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. Impact: expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Fulton, Smithville, Tremont, Evergreen, New Salem, Clay, Tilden, Abney, Eastman, Jacinto, Cardsville, Bounds Crossroads, Turin, and Academy. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for north central Monroe and southern Itawamba counties in northeastern Mississippi until 5:30 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning clear at 4:46 p.m. So right now, not much going on except for those storms in Mississippi. They'll be crossing. They'll be getting into Alabama here within the next 30 to 45 minutes. With the exception of that line in northeast Mississippi, that may get here a little bit quicker. That's just a horrible radar image. I'm going to switch sources here. I'm going to switch to Jackson, Mississippi radar. Of course, these red counties here are tornado watch, but they've trimmed this back to just include the eastern counties. So our eastern counties in Mississippi are under a tornado watch, and that goes until 9. But I have a feeling they'll trim that back as the line moves through. Get radar data back on. See, it's just the only thing I can think of is they're using the. See, this doesn't look nearly as bad. And you can see the higher velocity values there from Fulton to Aberdeen. Could be some concern for damaging winds there. Take a look at rainfall totals over the past hour. Not very high. We haven't gotten much. It's a good possibility that the dew points are still rather low. So a lot of this precipitation being detected by the radar isn't quite reaching the ground. Okay, I need to post an image on Twitter here real quick. And I need to turn on one of my radios. Give me just a second. There's an EMA one I like to have on.
Channel mode. 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 8, 7, 8.
Right, that's in case the EMA here have anything to share. Sometimes when events like this happen, they communicate over. It's kind of a public frequency that everyone can hear, and I have a radio that can tune to it and listen to it. Right. So I'm looking at chat here real quick. Let's see. They trimmed back their wind advisory. Okay, Birmingham, that severe thunderstorm watch. For those in the Birmingham area, it's for Bibb, Blunt, Fayette, Greene, Hale, Jefferson, Lamar, Marengo, Marion, Perry, Pickens, Sumter, Tuscaloosa, Walker, and Winston. And for those in the Huntsville area, it's for Colbert, Coleman, Franklin, Lauderdale, Limestone, Madison, Marshall, and Morgan. So the only counties not in that in northern Alabama are DeKalb and Jackson counties. And then those in Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties in Middle Tennessee are not included in the watch. It looks like the line will stay out of these areas, or it's either going to stay out of southern Middle Tennessee or lose its intensity. So again, this is a late night event. Multiple reports of non-thunderstorm wind damage. I've seen a lot of reports from EMA about power lines down from trees. The trees are very weak right now because of the drought, and when you start getting these winds that start shaking them and moving them around, they just twist and break so easily until that rain comes in. So it's going to be wind followed by rain. And once that rain kicks in, the wind should start dying down just a little bit. That's why the wind advisory only goes until midnight. It doesn't last through tomorrow. the system are just off the chart right now. They're just extremely high, and we have very little instability. For those of you watching on our live stream, if anyone is, I've recently put up a new way to communicate with everyone. It's called Discord. Discord is an app mainly for gamers, but I've integrated a lot of things with it. I'm going to show you a quick. I'm going to screen share my. Let me see if I can easily do it. I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this for just a minute. All right, this is what Discord looks like. All different kinds of channels. And what you'll want to do, if you click that link on the left, if you're watching from the website, if you scroll down just a little bit on the left side, you'll see Discord and who's online and a bright blue join now button. If you click that button, you'll end up on this page where it just shows you the rules. And then you can join any of these channels here. You can see where we started talking. This is the severe weather event we were talking about. And then I also have these cool things set up. It's automated alerts from the National Weather Service. And they'll show up right here in near real time, not quite real time. And then I also have a Twitter channel set up for those. I deleted that one, so I'll delete it here too. For those following our Twitter accounts, you can follow it all right here. Really neat things I've added here. And then optionally, we do have voice channels too. I'm not in it right now because obviously I'm doing a live stream and I would be, that would just be too much going back and forth. If someone was to join those voice channels and they had questions, I would start talking there too. Very easy, quick registration. Takes about a minute to set up. And then you can join here very quickly. So I want to pass that along. There's a significant weather advisory for northern Lamar and Marion counties. I'm not going to read that whole thing off just because we're under those areas are under a severe thunderstorm watch, so it's not really worth reading. Just way too high. Until these storms get in between, hang on, let me switch. I need to switch sources again. Until things get until they get this fixed, I wouldn't be using Columbus radar right now. Unfortunately, I don't really have a choice. I'm going to try switching tilts and see if maybe it's not. Nah, that's just horrible. These are just horrible images coming in. Velocity looks okay, but reflectivity is way too high. Look at those gradient winds going right for Columbus. It gives you an idea of where the strongest rain is, the strongest energy being returned to the radar is, but it's just not that strong. And you can see those gradient winds. I'm going to loop this here and see if we get any twisting. See, we're missing a lot of images too. They're probably actively working on the radar side, although they have some rain and storms coming through now. Look at that line. That's a very intense line right there. Okay, yeah, I'm missing some images there. It may have gone down. Try again. There we go. Yeah, you can see those gradient winds. That's definitely damaging wind potential here. If I look at some of the values, oh, well over 50 miles an hour. And it's going right for Columbus. Not to be confused with Columbus Air Force Base, just Columbus, Mississippi, Lowndes County. Um, Ooh, let me read that statement. They're indicating possible rotation with it. All right, I'm going to invite our team members here. Boy, it is windy here. All right, so now that okay, that's a different warning there. Now, the weather service in Memphis is yeah, there's a little bit of rotation in there. Actually getting very close to Marion County. Uh-huh. Yeah, right there. A little bit of rotation. Very tight, but not very well defined. And not really where you want it, and not really where you expect it. Severe thunderstorm warning for Lowndes. All right, let me get that invite going for okay, present. Invite people. All right, severe thunderstorm warning for Lowndes. Let me get that out real quick. It's Lowndes, Mississippi. Sorry. Stand by for a severe thunderstorm warning from the Weather Service in Jackson. The National Weather Service in Jackson has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Lowndes County in northeastern Mississippi until 5:45 p.m. At 4:57 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Colula Springs to near Crawford, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Radar indicated threat. Impact, expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Severe thunderstorms will be near Caledonia, Kalula Springs, and Steens around 5:05 p.m. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for northeastern Mississippi. Repeating, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for Lowndes County in northeast Mississippi until 5:45 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning clear at 5:01 p.m. I don't see the rotation that they were for that warning anymore. In fact, that's going to be a Marion County threat here shortly. I think now it looks, you see that last scan, it looked like the reflectivity calmed down just a little bit, unless it got into drier air. Yeah, I think the reflectivity image has the reflected. My goodness, the reflectivity images have calmed down just a little bit. Still not quite as bright as as the line approaches the radar. Still looks too high. Kemper, Leake, Neshoba, Newton, Noxubee, Scott, and Winston. So the southern part of the line is now in that warning. I'm going to switch radar sites. That popped up almost instantly, didn't it? See, look at how different those images change. I don't know which radar site they're using now. Let me use Birmingham's. That's too far away. Columbus has the best view of it, it looks like. Look at velocity. Stand by for a severe thunderstorm warning from the Weather Service in Jackson. The National Weather Service in Jackson has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Neshoba County in east central Mississippi, northwestern Newton County in east central Mississippi, southeastern Leake County in central Mississippi, Scott County in central Mississippi, Kemper County in east central Mississippi, Noxubee County in east central Mississippi, and southeastern Winston County in east central Mississippi until 6 p.m. At 5:02 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Crawford to near Morton, moving northeast at 100 miles per hour. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is a radar indicated threat. Impact, expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Break. Severe thunderstorms will be near Deerbrook around 5:10 p.m., Prospect and Conetta around 5:20 p.m., Neshoba and Dixon around 5:25 p.m., House and Herbert Springs around 5:30 p.m., Forestdale and Damascus around 5:35 p.m., Preston and Bluff Springs around 5:40 p.m., DeKalb around 5:45 p.m., Paulette and Cooksville around 5:55 p.m. Other locations impacted by these severe thunderstorms include Tucker, Shuckwalk, Scuba, and Sebastopol. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 9 p.m. for northeastern, central, and east central Mississippi. Repeating, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for Noxubee, Kemper, and southeastern Winston counties and east central Mississippi until 6 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning clear at 5:06 p.m. All right, so right now, Birmingham is issuing significant weather advisories for their western counties. There's one for Pickens, Marion, and Lamar counties. Severe thunderstorm warning for Itawamba and Monroe has been canceled. Okay, new mesoscale discussion. We'll see what that's for. Central southern Mississippi and southeastern Louisiana. Okay, let me get that update for Itawamba and Monroe. Severe thunderstorm warning update from the Weather Service in Memphis. The severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Monroe and southeastern Itawamba counties is canceled. The storm which prompted the warning has weakened below severe limits and has exited the warned area. Therefore, the warning has been canceled. Repeating, severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Monroe and southeastern Itawamba counties and northeastern Mississippi has been canceled. Severe weather statement clear at 5:08 p.m. Oh, excuse me. Look at that. It's indicating winds over 70 miles an hour. And it lines up right. Okay, Amory, Monroe County, thunderstorm wind damage, trees down between Amory and Smithville. So it did produce wind damage at some point in time. This is where I'm going to switch to high top here real quick just to kind of get a view of things. And you can see the reflectivity is just not that high. Of course, it doesn't, high top radar doesn't quite reach the state line. The range doesn't go out that far. So you got to switch to Columbus here, and it looks totally different. Things become difficult. Okay, Huntsville just pushed out a forecast discussion. Okay, that it was for it was their terminal terminal area forecast. And by the way, if you're on our website and you see on the left greedy, that is actually my Discord user account name. That's why you're seeing greedy on there. I tried to change my nickname to AL Storm Tracker just so it's easier. Leake County, trees down. And folks, I do want to point out with any of these storms, there is the potential for even rotating showers because the shear and helicity is just so high right now. There's not a lot of instability. That's why if you take a look at this, I'm going to turn off radar data. Lightning is very limited. Even, there's severe thunderstorm warnings here, but if you look, there's not that much lightning. See, just 2 in the past 5, 4 in the past 10. Of course, and then you get down here, and then you got some storms that are a little bit more organized in Smith County, Smith and Rankin counties. I'm sorry, Copaya and Rankin counties in central Mississippi. Those storms are a little more organized. They have a little more lightning, a little more instability down there. But once you start getting up here into the Tennessee Valley, instability is very limited. It's actually limited to the elevated portions of the surface. So there's not much at the surface for these storms to get their energy from. Plenty of shear and instability in the atmosphere down at the surface. That's why it's been such a windy day. Trees down in southern Jones County. I have relatives that live in Ellisville. Non-thunderstorm wind damage. Yeah, I haven't seen any severe thunderstorm warnings for Jones. Significant weather advisory for Colbert and Franklin. Stand by for a special weather statement from the National Weather Service in Huntsville. Significant weather advisory for southwestern Colbert and Franklin counties until 5:45 p.m. At 5:12 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from 7 miles east of Midway to 7 miles southeast of Red Bay. Movement was northeast at 40 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour will be possible with these storms. Locations impacted include Russellville, Red Bay, Phil Campbell, Cherokee, Belgreen, Vina, Hodges, Crooked Oak, Little Bear Creek Reservoir, and Spruce Pine. Strong gusty winds will be capable of knocking down small tree limbs along with other small unsecured items. Seek safe shelter until this line of storms has passed. Repeating, that's a significant weather advisory for southwestern Colbert and Franklin counties in northwestern Alabama until 5:45 p.m. Special weather statement clear at 5:14 p.m. I'm still a little mesmerized with the reflectivity differences right here. Look, it just shows it shows things it almost shows ridiculously high amounts of reflectivity. And look, as you switch, see, that looks a little better. And now things are starting to get into northern Alabama. I can switch to high top here and we can start getting a better look at things. It makes things really difficult when you have images that just aren't right. Let me look at velocity values up higher. I'm going to do a high tilt here. So you got winds. This is way above the surface, but you got winds at 90 miles an hour at the highest tilt. So just imagine the radar beam going straight up. You got winds over 90 miles an hour, and then you come down to the surface, which this is the lowest volume scan. I don't think this is right. Unfortunately, Columbus Air Force Base hasn't proven very reliable today.
Seven, six,
Rain. Lows in
7, 8, 1, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3.
Ignore this. I'm just tuning to it to the EMA channel.
1, 1, 1, 1, 8, 6, 7, 8.
Nothing going on right now, but just in case anything's issued or if they have anything to report. All right, take a quick look at Twitter, see what's going on. A video out of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Apparently they got some real wind damage over there. Oh yeah, it's pretty. It looks like they did I think that's a video edit. I think they put some kind of filter on it. Unless oh, there's fires in the area. Yeah, there's a lot of wildfires in that area. So there's. Oh, I also want to mention for I didn't mean to do that. Um, many areas, well, almost all areas, haven't received any rainfall over the past several months. So sometime, actually all the time, when grounds are so dry, they actually have problems soaking up the rain just because they're so flat. So that can cause flooding concerns. The problem's not really on roadways. It's more of an issue on it's more of an issue for ponding on like in your backyard or something, just because everything is so dry. Just because everything is so dry, it just it's harder to soak it up. It's almost like think of like a dry sponge, and then just start throwing water on it. It doesn't soak it up quite as easily. But when you get a wet sponge, you can squeeze it. You can squeeze the water out of it. When it's dry and you squeeze, nothing happens. It just takes a little more time. It's really the best way I can explain it. Might be a weird explanation, but hey. Okay, I'm going to zoom around just a little bit. I don't have any more reports to relay. They haven't mentioned anything. I've been passing them as I get them. Last report I got was out of Ellisville, non-thunderstorm wind damage, trees down around southern Jones County. That significant weather advisory. Jackson updates tornado watch. All of our counties are still included. They just trimmed it down just a little bit. Atala, Choctaw, Madison, Octavia, Warren County, Mississippi, and Tensas Parish have been removed from the tornado watch. All other counties are still included. Okay, significant weather advisory up in Middle Tennessee. Actually, I haven't looked up here. Let me switch to Nashville's radar. Yeah, see, that has a better view of things. It's for these storms right here. Lightning within those. See, no lightning. That's how you know we have no instability. There is no lightning within these storms. It's just rain with heavy wind. Very organized. Oh, that for a line. Look, the winds actually get so high that it shows a TVS outside of anything. And I'm really surprised the Weather Service in Birmingham hasn't pulled the trigger for a warning here. But actually, let me try this. Ah, that's why. Yeah, not quite as strong. Not as pronounced as the Columbus Air Force Base radar. I'm on the Birmingham NextRad now. It's this bit right here that I would be worried about. Pickinsville to Carrollton. For the winds look to be the most defined. No circulation, just looks like high winds, 50 to 60 miles an hour. Let me see what just happened. Tornado warning for Noxubee. Okay, let me look at that one. Yeah, it's for that one I was watching right there. The winds are very high. But I don't quite see the rotation. I'm going to try to get a manual track on that one here. Well, the only place I see it is near Macon, but they issued it for this area. Winds over 70 miles an hour. There's another mesoscale discussion. This might be, I bet this is for Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Enhanced precipitation. Like I said, no lightning up there. All right, so a tornado warning for Lowndes, Mississippi. Let me get this out on Zillow. Stand by for a tornado warning from the National Weather Service in Jackson. The National Weather Service in Jackson has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Noxubee County and east central Mississippi until 6:30 p.m. At 5:24 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Gollison, or 13 miles northeast of Preston, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard tornado source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Paulette around 5:35 p.m., Cooksville around 5:40 p.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Shokalak. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. And if you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Repeating, that's a tornado warning for southeastern Noxubee County and east central Mississippi until 6:30 p.m. Tornado warning clear at 5:26 p.m. All right, I'm gonna try to do a manual track on that one. Give me just a second. Gotta minimize a lot of things. All right, let me see if I can do this right. Let me see if I can find the. Oh, I see it now. Wow, how'd they find that? I see it there near Macon, but Macon is not in the polygon. Macon, you are not in Macon, Mississippi. You're not in this warning. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the best I can to place there, pan there. Okay, that's not what I want. Let me clear. Okay, let me erase. Let me just get a polygon here. A lot of reports of damage um, out of Lowndes County. Okay, for some reason, I'm not seeing. I'm doing wrong here. There we go. Oops, I still didn't do that right. I didn't track that right. I really should have messed with this at some other time. Okay, what I'm trying to do a manual track on this, and the software I have just isn't playing very nice, isn't being very nice. That might help. Let me turn on storm tracks. Move it up. Check them both. See, it looks like it's further north than inside the polygon. Either way, I'll track inside the polygons. Position there, position there, position there. Oh, did I close it? Shoot, I think I closed it. Yeah, I did. Let's try that again. Okay. All right, position there, position there, position there. There we go. Okay, I think that's the best I can do. Man, it is really windy here. Okay, and then I want to actually let me go a little bit ahead of it. Let's very easily we can go there, and let's see, this is moving at 60. So I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit, and I'm gonna go just ahead of it. Go off to the northeast at 60. Keep going. Okay, 51, close enough. And then view ETA. This will take just a second to pop. That didn't work. Okay. Clear, clear. 60. Okay, there's that track. And let's view ETA. There it goes. See, right, it's popping in all the cities right now. So pretty much I'm just tracking inside the polygon, just ahead of it though. So what pops up here may not be entirely accurate, but it gives you a good idea. Surprised it hasn't posted yet. I should see it by now. It looks like it's still trying to populate. Either that or hang on, I may have tracked wrong. So western Colbert County has apparently received over an inch of rain already. And I do not see a couplet here. I don't see anything defining significant rotation. I'm going to try to track one more time here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that polygon here in just a second. Okay, that'll clear it. Okay, let's find it. There's a little bit right there. We'll go there. Oops, go there. Just go up to the northeast a little bit and track. Oops, I cleared. There, there, and track. All right, so this isn't working. This just freezes up, so I'm not going to use this anymore. I do know, however, that this tornadic thunderstorm is getting ready to move into Pickens County. No reports out of Noxubee County yet. Look at I mean, it's maybe right there, just northwest of Paulette. Here, I'll do a couple different scans. But it's very broad. It doesn't look very well defined. I mean, it's worth keeping an eye on. But then again, so is this whole line of storms right here. Things are moving so quick. I mean, one of the texts I read says they were moving at 100 miles an hour. Why this is a very high wind, but not too much rain event. And you see, you even got a couple showers behind it. Okay, I'm gonna switch to high top here real quick. New special weather statement. Okay. Oh, see, you're starting to get those gradient winds now. Okay, there's a special weather statement for that storm moving into Green Pickens. Stand by for a special weather statement from the National Weather Service in Huntsville. Significant weather advisory for southeastern Colbert, eastern Franklin, western Lawrence, and central Lauderdale counties until 6 p.m. At 5:35 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from 7 miles southwest of Collinwood to 6 miles south of Belgreen. Movement was northeast at 40 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour will be possible with these storms. Locations impacted include Florence, Muscle Shoals, Russellville, Sheffield, Tuscumbia, Phil Campbell, Killen, Town Creek, Littleville, and Layton. Strong gusty winds will be capable of knocking down small tree limbs, along with other small unsecured items. Seek safe shelter until this line of storms has passed. Repeating, that's a significant weather advisory for southeastern Colbert, eastern Franklin, western Lawrence, and central Lauderdale counties in northern Alabama until 6 p.m. Special weather statement clear at 5:37 p.m. All right, the wind advisory for Mississippi has been canceled. Wind advisory is canceled. For northeast Mississippi, I'm sorry. Winds have diminished across the mid-south and should remain between 5 and 15 in most areas this evening. So let me go back to this tornado warning in East Mississippi. It's starting to get a little more well-defined right there, actually. Let me see what Birmingham has to say about this. There's North Central Sumter and Northern Green. I just don't see it. I don't see any well-defined rotation there. I mean, you definitely have the winds over 70 can be like a small tornado, but as far as well-defined rotation, I don't see. And that warning goes until 6:30, but it's about to cross into Alabama. Birmingham's radar. I mean, yeah, you have the gradient winds change direction there. Plenty of shear in the atmosphere for that to happen. Okay, let me switch back to the high top next rad. See, this radar image is pretty accurate, so I'm going to loop this here real quick, and it should slow down. Yeah, you can see it comes within range of the radar. Okay, let's look at the wind. So you can see those gradient winds right around Russellville. See where it, so that tells us where our line is, but they're not very strong. Until you get like up there. So this is where you would be concerned about the damaging wind threat. See, the line's not really bowing, and it's questionable if that's even reaching the surface. Okay, the Weather Service continues a tornado warning for Knox Bay until 6:30. Significant weather advisory for Walker and Winston. That is for, yeah, this line right here. Very interesting velocity image there, but they're not very high. Check Twitter here real quick. James Spann just said on Twitter the Weather Service in Birmingham is not planning on issuing a tornado warning for Pickens as the rotation isn't well defined. Just scrolling through Twitter, I'm not seeing anything right now. I'm gonna look at the ALWX hashtag just to see. A lot of people are using the Columbus radar, and it's not accurate. Okay, let me get back on that tornado warning for Noxubee. Actually, there's another area of concern right there. It's just not well defined. I don't see anything anymore. Okay, let me switch over to Birmingham. If this had higher values, I would be concerned with damaging straight line winds, but the main concern is over the western half of Alabama for the higher shear values. Let me switch to mesoanalysis here real quick, and we'll see what kind of dynamics we have in place right now. Okay, we'll go southeast. Let me switch my screen here. Mesoanalysis page. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, I need to change sectors. Oh, southeast. There we go. Okay, there's the line. Let's see what kind of wind shear we have. It's actually kind of south. How about Cape? See, hardly anything. Only like 200 surface-based Cape. Okay, let's look at helicity. Again, that stays south. So that shows how unstable it is. So it's actually a little more unstable up there in southern Middle Tennessee. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Just a little circle right there. This is what's going on right now. This is the current radar. Okay, let me throw on the outlook. You see the slight risk. It's pretty much for the area that it's in right now. The supercell composite radar stays south. Precipitable water value is very high. Between 1.5 and 2 inches. So the atmosphere is very moist. But then we look at dew points. Okay, I'm going to turn off radar. Okay, let's look at wind shear. Forecast out. So you see the wind shear keeps up with the storms. But as of right now, it's focused on West Alabama and central Mississippi. And then if we throw on the radar, forecast it ahead. See, this is right now, and look at where the radar lines up. So you can see looks as though the shear hasn't quite caught up with the showers yet. But as we go through, so you can see it kind of lifts up. It looks like we start getting those dynamics in place over the next few hours. Winds at 45, that's 45 knots at the surface. So it'll accelerate the storms and make it more of a straight line wind damage event. And then we look at, let's see, let me look at surface-based cape. I'll turn radar off again just to give you an idea. There is no cape in place, virtually none. That's the most we get in the next 4 hours. That is actually at, what's the time on that? That's in the next 4 hours. That's the rapid refresh model. You get very, very little, and that's actually elevated cape. And then we, of course, we look at the heavy rain, and this is right now. This doesn't actually go out any. So the heaviest rain focused in central Mississippi and West Alabama. And then I'll turn on the radar. I may have to turn that off, actually. So you see the very moist atmosphere, but it's focused more on central Mississippi. All right, now let's look at helicity. This is the effective helicity. So this is kind of what matters, I guess you could say. It's about the same as what we looked at before. But you see it focused heavily on central Alabama. So it looks like things should start accelerating over the next few hours once that shear kicks into place. I'm actually going to look at model data here real quick. I'm going to look at our high resolution model data. Hopefully you guys can still see what I'm doing. This is the weather. This is the website I use for model data. Okay, let's go southeast. Look at this. This is really behind. 22Z, that's 5 p.m. Okay, so that's about right. It's probably about an hour behind. All right, so it's a little bit behind, maybe by an hour. I'm gonna look at surface base cape. It should be about the same as what I looked at before. Yeah, no cape, very sporadic. You get that little pop right into Lincoln County, Tennessee in the next 8 hours, but it doesn't line up with the rain. That's the problem. It's got to line up with the precipitation. And look at supercell composite. This kind of gives you an idea of any supercells, and you see that very, very low chance. Any chance is actually right now, and then it'll be across the southwestern portions of Alabama. Of course, this lines up with the shear. And if you just look at helicity, this is good. Okay, so I think my family is home right now. If that's the case, I will need to step aside for a little while until things get active. What I will do is I will double box things right here to where you can see the chat and you can see the radar. Let me make sure I can do this right. I will minimize everything else. You're going to hear the ding dings and everything. I will mute my mic. I'm going to turn everything else off. You should be, hopefully you're seeing my whole screen right now. No, you're not. You're not seeing anything right now. Okay, let me screen share everything. Come on. All right, so what I'm going to do, again, is I'm going to mark myself away on Zello. I'll get messages when I come back. And I will do the best I can to double box the radar and double box the chat room so you can see things as they're happening. This won't be easy, but I'll try my best. Okay, I'm gonna leave it up for Northern Alabama here right now. If anything's issued, you'll see it here in real time. Okay, I'm gonna go spend some time with my family. I'll be back here in a little while. I'll leave this stream up. All right, folks, I am back. Let me make sure everything is still working here. Okay. Well, so it looks like I was getting all the notifications from the weather service, and it looks like a lot of the area has been cleared from the severe thunderstorm watch. Yeah, just Madison and Marshall counties remain under the severe thunderstorm watch as that line moves through. Wayne County is cleared from the wind advisory. Folks, I think that's just about it. I don't see any. Oh, there's still some heavy rains or some heavy wind. I would be concerned about the higher terrains of northeastern Alabama as this line gets into those areas. There's actually no watch in place for Jackson and DeKalb counties. And current trends, look, there is no lightning. It is nothing but rain. Your lightning isn't until you get into Blount County and areas. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Sumter County. Switch to Birmingham. Look at that line. And the severe thunderstorm warning for Sumter is gone. Currently, no warnings in the state of Alabama. There's a little bit of precip behind the main line, too. All right, folks, I just don't think there's enough going on to maintain a live stream here. This looks very isolated. There's hardly any lightning with this. I think just gusty wind will. I think things will just get gusty, maybe a little bit of rain. And then once the rain passes, things should cool down. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. Thank you for the viewers here. This will be up for anyone to watch whenever they need to look at it. I'll see you guys next time.